Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're...
But how did the Jews get to Europe? We just
the bigger question is, how did y'all get to Israel?
Okay.
So, you know, historically, y'all wasn't looking for Israel first. You know, y'all went to Haiti, y'all went to South America, y'all was looking in Africa, y'all was looking anywhere to go.
If you look
originally. If you go back to the Belfort Act and all of that y'all did, that's why y'all have that war in Palestine, because you broke every treaty that you even had with the Palestinians.
It's a whole separate conversation.
No, you're asking, how did you get this? So y'all was thank you. So y'all was in Germany having war with another set of white people, because y'all all white. Y'all, they went, America fights for y'all, and then they're like, where are we going to place these people? And so again, if you look historically, they was going to place you in South America, they was going to place you in Haiti, they was going to place you in Africa. And then the Palestinians welcomed y'all with open arms, thinking that y'all was only going to bring a certain amount of people, thinking that y'all wasn't going to expand in certain other areas. And then what did y'all do, like white people do? Broke the treaties and just decided we're going to take more and more and more and more land from them. So that land was never yours. It's not the Palestinians either, but at least they was there before y'all got there.
Drinking cream soda, double down with the Glock, ain't got no holster. Brand new big truck, get your head ran on.
So, hey, shalom, Israel, shalom, Baltimore. This is the ISUPK, it's a biblical law class. We're the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming straight out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We're under command and General Yohana. If it's not under command and General Yohana, it is not the truth. Right. We've been bringing this out since 1969. I mean that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the true biblical Jews. You understand? And our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's right. Let's give it up for that. Hey, so like it, we seeing it come out into the earth. You see what I'm saying? We pray to the Lord, man. We pray to the Lord that, you know, that he wake Israel up. You see what I'm saying? We know it's going to come by way of these social media sites and stuff like that. And what you're saying is courtesy of the Lord. Shout out to Captain Cesariak, you know, the interview. Shout out to Commander General Yohana. Right. You understand, for the interview that he had. You understand, like blazing on that devil. You see what I'm saying? It's coming out now. And here's the thing: people are now listening. Instead of people just saying, "Why y'all speaking this way?" and "Why y'all," people are now starting to listen. And when you actually start to listen, there is no holes in the things that we're saying because it's of the Lord. Right. But when you start asking questions to these other nations of people and they start defending whatever position they have, you start to see everything that they've been driven off of, everything that they've been built on has been lies. You understand? So big up the Commander General Yohana, you know, big up the Captain Cesariak. Yeah, I mean, just exposing these devils. You see what I'm saying? It's all over the internet right now. You understand? So definitely give it up for them. Here it is, you know, right now the climate that we're in, we got to have a spirit to serve the Lord. You see what I'm saying? We can't have a weak and feeble spirit. You know, we can't be brothers and or sisters that cower to other nations out of trying to make them feel good for who they are and the atrocities that they've committed. The Lord say, "Why trimmest thou ways?" Right. You understand? Like if you look at what's been going on the last couple of years in this society, you done had the Proud Boys and their entire crew storm the nation's capital. Somebody was unalive. You see what I'm saying? They got arrested and the president of the United States pardoned them. Like, I don't think we understand how major and how big that is. That's giving people a license to do whatever the hell they want to do, say whatever they want to say. And when things get rough and things get tough, you got a power and the United States president that's going to pardon you for every atrocity that you've committed.
Right.
So if on the flip side of what we're doing, if we got people that's that bold, and that's going to stand on racism, stand on bigotry, and stand on whatever they got to stand on, why should we fear, or why should we trim our ways when we're speaking the truth?
Right.
And that's what we got to get into. We're gonna start tonight with let's get into Leviticus 20 and 26, Bubba. Sure.
Come. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me.
The Lord saying, ye shall be holy unto me. You shall be separate unto me.
Right.
When it comes to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are a separate nation of people.
Right.
We're not like anybody else on the face of this earth. This is what the Lord said. The Lord said, you shall be holy unto me, meaning we have a power that we should be following. That's the Most High. When it comes to his law, statutes, and commandments, and the things that he's telling us to do, these are the things that we should be doing to serve our power.
Right.
The Proud Boys and these militias, they're serving their power. They're serving the United States government. They're serving the United States president. They're doing exactly what he wants them to do. So as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have a power as well. We have the Most High power.
Right.
And he gave us rules and regulations, laws, statutes, and commandments that we got to follow. Keep going.
Come. For I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye shall be mine.
The Most High say, I have severed you from other people that you may be mine. You understand? Like, what people got to realize, what we have to realize is that if you Black, Hispanic, and Native American, the Lord has severed you. He has cut you off from being like every other nation on the face of the earth.
Right.
He's cut you off from having the same traditions and the same customs and the same cultures as everybody else. You understand? Like, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have our own culture.
Right.
We have our own set of rules that we got to follow. We have our own set of people that we should be loving. You see what I'm saying? We are not like unto anybody on the face of this earth. The Lord say, I have severed you. Read that part again.
For I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye shall be mine.
So if the Lord severed us from other people so that we may be his, what is that telling?
We're separate from everyone.
We're separate from everybody. What does that tell you about everybody else?
The Most High haven't chosen them.
The Most High hasn't chosen them. They're not of the Most High.
Right.
And that's what we got to realize. Like, if you look at all these holidays, if you look at all these traditions, celebrating birthdays, what's the next holiday to come up? Halloween?
Come.
You know, we celebrating Halloween. Then we going right into Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's not our culture. You see what I'm saying? We just kept a high holy day the other night, the closing of the Feast of Tabernacles. That's our culture, man.
Right.
A lot of times we attribute that to the Jewish man. You understand? Who the Lord severed us from. We attribute the Most High, we attribute his high holy days to another people that's not like us.
Hold on a second. It says it's not working on YouTube.
So like,
message saying it's not working on YouTube. Yeah. It's not working, it's not live. Something wrong. Let me understand.
Yeah, read that from the top, but sure.
Come. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye shall be mine.
And here's the important part about that. What do people always say, especially Christians? What they always say?
That the Lord loves everybody. Sir.
The Lord loves everybody. We're all the same. All you got to do is believe, and we're all the same, no matter who you are. Here it is. The Lord is saying, I've severed you from everybody. You're not like nobody. Understand? I've given you laws, statutes, and commandments that you are to follow. That's going to make you different from anybody on the face of the earth. Drop that. Let me get Deuteronomy 7:6, Bubba Kashar. Because what we're going to bring out right now is we bringing out that God separated us and chose us to be his people and not nobody else. We're bringing out that God separated us.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
It say, for thou art an holy people. Here it is, the Lord saying it again. He's separating us. He's saying we are a separate people. Go ahead.
Unto the Lord thy God.
Unto the Lord thy God. Go ahead.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
It said the Most High chose us, man. The Most High chose blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He did not choose these other nations.
Right.
You understand? So when it comes down to his laws, his statutes, his commandments, the rules that he told us that and the moral compass that we should be following, he gave that to us and not nobody else. Keep going.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
It said, the Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. What makes Israel special to the Lord, man? When he chose us, what made us special to him? What makes us special now? Go ahead.
That he chose us.
That he chose us, right. But what are the things that when he chose us, what is it that he gave us that makes us special? What are the things
that we keep the law, statutes, and commandments?
We keep these law, statutes, and commandments, man. You understand? Like we don't realize by keeping these law, statutes, and commandments, we are separated from everybody on the face of the earth because no one else does this. You understand? Like the Jewish man, right? He'll say he don't eat pork. He still eats shrimp.
Right.
You understand? He still eat crab. He still eat all that nonsense. The Lord said we're not supposed to do those things. We're not supposed to eat those things. Pork is not the only thing the Most High said that we cannot eat. You understand? So when we are keeping our culture and we're serving the Most High, we're not eating none of those things. That's going to separate us out.
Right.
Was there any more on that?
Nah, sir.
Let me get Ezekiel 28 and 25.
Come. Ezekiel.
So like just for anybody online, if you have any questions, any comments, go ahead and just drop it in the chat.
So that's what I'm saying. So like the live is going on, but then it's messing up.
So let's just keep rocking for right now.
All right. Cool. Yeah, see, I guess it keep going in and out.
Yeah.
Right. Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 25. Thus saith the Lord God, when I shall have gathered the house of Israel from the people among whom they are scattered.
The Lord said, when I have gathered the house of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, from the people among whom they are scattered. You got to remember, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have been scattered to the four corners of the earth. We're in every nation right now. You see what I'm saying? The Most High is saying, I'm going to gather the house of Israel from amongst all these other nations. People.
Come. And shall be sanctified in them in the sight of the heaven. Oh, Salakia. And shall be sanctified in them in the sight of the heathen.
They say we're going to be saying and shall be sanctified in them in the sight of the heathen. You see what I'm saying? Like for us to be sanctified in the sight of the heathen, like we're going to be set apart.
Right.
It's going to be things that we're going to be doing that's different from everybody around us. You see what I'm saying? When they celebrating Halloween, when they celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas, we won't be doing those things. When they having them bull roast, you see what I'm saying, in the Christian church and they eating that swine, we won't be doing that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? When they saying it's okay to have alternative lifestyles, we won't be doing those things. Go ahead.
Like this is gonna be class because us growing up, our parents is quick to tell us like, yo, be different. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to follow behind everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You special, you different, whatever like that. But in retrospect, they basically teaching us to be just like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then when we go out there and teach you, like, yo, bro, you are different. You know what I'm saying? You are separate. You feel me? We get people go against it because I mean the society, we've been conditioned to like love everybody and do exactly what they want us to do for real.
Come. And what happens is our parents are just they teach and pass tradition down from the heathen. They teach you two up.
Yeah, we two up. So.
Yeah, so what they do is they pass traditions down from the heathen to us, not even knowing what they're doing.
Right.
So of course, when we come and say, "Nah, this is what the Lord say," it sounds so different because even our parents, a lot of our parents have not been taught, the things that we're learning at this point.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So this is how you have generations after generations after generations of brothers and sisters, pretty much learning to sin against the Lord. Keep going with that.
Then shall they dwell in their land that I have given to my servant Jacob.
This is a future prophecy. You understand? When the Lord said He's going to dwell in the land that I've given to my servant Jacob. You understand? Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, man, not Esau. You understand? If you've been following what's going on, online with Captain Tazariot, you got those Jewish cats.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And like Captain Tazariot asked them, the better question is, how did you get to Israel?
Right.
You understand? Like the Lord didn't put you there. America put you there. That goes against the prophecy. That goes against the scriptures. The Bible says, "No man shall save thee," meaning no man shall redeem you. You understand? The only power that can redeem us is the Most High Himself. There will be nobody that can take credit when we rise to power and we come into the fullness of who we are. There will be nobody that can take credit for that.
Right.
Only the Most High. But who can take credit for putting the Jewish man in Israel? America. You see what I'm saying? So what we're doing is we're showing how God separated and chose Israel. You understand? Let me get First Peter 2:9, Brother Bashar.
First Peter chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people.
They say, but yeah, a chosen generation. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we got to realize we are a chosen generation, man.
Right.
A royal priesthood, a holy nation. We're a separate group. We're a separate nation of people, man. And we got to drive that home because a lot of times we try to be like everybody else. You see what I'm saying? We want to be like everybody else, and we want to fit into whatever's going on around us. The Lord did not want that for us, man.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, we are the one who set the standards. We shouldn't be the one following other cultures and doing the wickedness that they do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But we get caught up because we don't know who we are. That's why the Most High had set up, Commander General Han and the ISUPK to bring back this identity. That's why you see, videos going viral with Commander General Han and Captain Zora. This is of the Lord, huh?
Right.
This is of the Lord. And the timing in which it's happening is of the Lord. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, this is our time to wake up, man.
Right.
You understand? Come back home. Come back to our power. Learn to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and how to truly serve the Lord, man. The Lord said we are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, man. How many times we get around other people, other nations of people, and we feel like we got to it's damn near we dumbing ourselves down. What they call it, code switching. They call it code switching, but we got to dumb ourselves down. The way we talk, the way we interact with each other. You see what I'm saying? It's like we damn near feel guilty for having the type of, I don't like using the word swag, but that sauce that we got, man. You damn near feel guilty when you're around these oppressors, these other nations, because they ain't got it.
Right.
Good.
I don't want to come that's so heavy. The point you're bringing out, because it's like whatever Black people, Hispanic people, and Native Indian people, right? Whatever make them, how they carry themselves, we literally have to put that away.
Yeah.
So the other nations, because the other nations deem it as, oh, you're not professional enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, and a lot of us believe that to the point like, yo, when you talk to, the devils, man, you got to talk to them in this type of way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to wear certain suits if you want to look professional. But that's the devil way of dressing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he told us to wear that to make us look professional. Why we wear right now ain't professional. You know what I'm saying? So that's a heavy point for real, because a lot of us go through that.
How many people seen that the interview that Commander General Hunter had, and you had that the Edomite on there with the suit? He had a suit on. He had a suit on, and it's like, did you see that? Was it? And like Commander General Hunter was telling them, he said, "Listen, we are masculine. Like black men are masculine.
Right.
We talk with a certain level of aggression. You see what I'm saying? But it scares the other nations.
Calm.
So the only way you can really communicate with them is for you to kind of like docile your way down a little bit. Because if we talk the way we talk, you know how brothers talk. When we get into it, it's hand gestures. You see what I'm saying? Like, you may slap your knee, something like that. You see what I'm saying? You moving when you talking. It's a very masculine energy. These other nations, man, it's very effeminate. You gotta talk soft and don't raise your voice. Anything outside of that, they take it as a threat, and they are terrified. Good.
It's the thing that's so powerful about that, right? The way we talk is threatening to them, but they actions is crazy. Like stuff like we can't even talk regular because y'all so scared. But in retrospect, y'all the ones out here doing all the violent crimes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? With your actions, not even your words. So you'll talk soft. Meanwhile, right behind people's backs and stuff like that, you'll do some violent stuff. So it's crazy, like something as simple as words. They want us to believe like that's so. You know what I mean? Don't think that.
And what you're saying is heavy, because that's why the Most High said their words are smooth as butter, but war is in their heart. You see what I'm saying? But what happens when you talking like? The thing is, when we get into our culture and we start to serve our power, we learn that we're never to trust them.
Right.
We're never to trust that fake humility. Them talking soft and not making eye contact and can I get a word in and all that nonsense. Right. We don't trust that because we know your history.
Right.
You understand? We know your behavior. We know your reputation. So that's what really intimidates them, because when we talk to these other nations, or you got to deal with these other nations, and you don't fall for their tactics and ploys, what else can they resort to? They got to resort to you being angry,
right?
You talking loud. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the only trickery that they can pull. That they can try to pull over and convince the masses that you have.
Right.
That's why it was so masterful, even the way Captain Cesario dealt with them devils, man. You see what I'm saying? He dealt with them in a way in which you had to listen. You had to listen and actually hear the point. You see what I'm saying? But that's why it's so important for us not to trim our ways.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Don't go and celebrate on your slavery because they having a Thanksgiving brunch. And they invite you to eat Thanksgiving dinner on the slavery. Don't trim your ways and go in there and eat.
Right.
Eat with them. You see what I'm saying? The Lord didn't call us to do that, man. Finish that scripture, brother. Sure.
Come. That ye should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into this marvelous light.
They say you're a peculiar people, that you should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. What is that? What is that darkness?
Oppression. Good. Oppression, or not knowing your culture.
Yeah, no, not knowing these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's the darkness we was once in, not knowing who we are. That's why brothers out here, if you look at a brother, one year he may be a member of the conscious community wearing the shikis. You see what I'm saying? He's a part of Kemet. The next year you see him, he's a full-out Muslim.
Right.
Selling bean pies in the middle of the road. You see what I'm saying? 2 years after that, he's a Christian. We don't know who the hell we are, man. We don't know who the hell we are. So therefore, we try to assimilate ourselves into everybody else's culture. That's not what the Lord wants from us, man. You Black, Hispanic, and Native American, we have a culture that we can find in this Bible, man. Good.
Like, that's a heavy point. Because, you know, I think, for the most part, our people, we the type of people that, because we don't have no culture, we try to take from everybody else's, you know what I'm saying, culture to assimilate with ourselves.
Good.
When, like, I was talking to one of my friends about it, and then I told him, you know, I'm an Israelite and stuff like that, about the school and stuff, and then he like, well, yo, you know, I just take from everybody and everybody. I'm like, well, you know, other nations got their culture. They serve their little God. It ain't the real God, but that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to tell you that my people, you know what I'm saying, this is what we should be doing. And like, it's what you bringing out so heavy because like a lot of our people are caught in that, whereas though they have no culture. That's why your nationality and who you are as a person is like very vital for our people, because without it, like we do stuff like that. We run around and just try to assimilate and grab stuff from everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So that's a powerful part to bring it up.
And honestly, what it do is it makes us weak. It makes us weak, and it makes us actually hate each other.
Right.
You know, because you'll hear a lot of people say, I look at everybody as the same. Right?
Right.
That's what everybody say. I view everybody the same. I ain't got no hatred towards this person, towards that person, this, that, and the third. If you treat, knowing the history of just this nation, if you treat everybody the same, isn't that being racist? Like, how can you treat the murderer
the
same way as the murderer?
Right.
How could you treat the perpetrator the same way you treat the victim?
Right.
If you do that, that means that you're being wicked.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? How can you know the history? How could you know the history of your own people, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? And you say you're going to treat Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the same way that you treat the so-called white man who committed all of these atrocities and never paid for them.
Right.
How can you treat us all? How can you treat everybody the same? So even with that statement of everybody's the same, I don't look at nobody as being different, that is a weak statement.
Right.
That is trimming your ways. You see what I'm saying? That's you becoming weak and being susceptible to being misguided and unalived.
Right.
By these devils, man. Drop that. Let me get Amos 3 and 2.
Con. Amos chapter 3, verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Start that in verse 1.
Con. Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel.
It is. The Lord is speaking to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He's not talking to everybody on the face of the earth.
Right.
Keep going.
Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying,
Did the Most High bring everybody up from the land of Egypt?
No.
He did not. He only brought up Israel. We was the slave that the Most High freed from Egyptian from bondage.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? He's not talking about everybody on the face of the earth. He's talking about a particular, peculiar group of people. That's Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Keep going.
Verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Most High is saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. It's 18 families on this earth. And the Most High said, I've only known you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? He's given preferential treatment to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And we got to understand how powerful that is, man. Because if it was any other nation that he gave these laws, statutes, and commandments to, they would follow.
Right.
They would follow them. Not only would they follow them, they would not trim their ways, because they would know that they are the children of the Most High. Like you got The Jewish man has built his entire existence off of being someone that he's not.
Right.
And do you see how the earth responds to him? Like you can't even watch a football game without them saying, "Stop Jewish hate."
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like he's built for himself off a stolen identity. He's built an empire, man, claiming to be the people of the Lord, claiming to be Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You understand? Do we have, when outside of the UPK, have you heard anybody talk about them brothers that got hung down in Mississippi? One guy hung on the college campus, man. A couple hours later, one guy hung in the town. Outside of the UPK, you don't hear about the atrocities and the crimes that's being committed against Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Who talks about our Hispanic brothers that's still on the border getting mistreated, man? Getting unalived. You see what I'm saying? ICE agents running with face masks on. Proud Boys running with face masks on, posing as ICE agents. You see what I'm saying? Abusing, kidnapping, taking for ransom our people, man, our kids. Outside of the UPK, who else do you hear talk about these things? Nobody, man. Nobody gives a damn. But you got the Jewish man who the smallest thing can happen, and all of a sudden it's what they call it, anti-Semitic. You watching a football game, and I counted about it probably like 25, 30 times the commercial came on. Stop Jewish hate. Who's going to stop Black, Hispanic, and Native American hate?
Right.
Who's stopping that? Go, you had something?
Like, so you bringing up, it's so powerful, right? The condition that we in, where as though we hate ourselves so much. When you was like, if God had chosen another people, they would follow the laws. This how much self-hate we have as a people. We believe right now that God chose another people, and we accept that as Black, like the Jews. A lot of our Black Christians, people accept the fact that God chose the Jewish man, and I know for like family, I got families who accept that and will do anything so they can stay where they at.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, when we teach that, like, no, they stole your identity. You are the actual chosen people. Nah, that can't be.
Sure.
There's no way. You know what I'm saying? That's how deep our self-hate is. You know what I'm saying? Through the suppression and this line of these devils.
Well, that's how powerful Christianity is. Like when Benjamin Hunter say that Christianity is worse than crack cocaine, that's real.
Right.
That's real. You see what I'm saying? Because you got Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we'll call ourselves anything other than who we are.
Right.
We go into Christianity, Catholicism, we go into every other religion, and we don't mind being second and third class citizens in everybody else's religion.
Right.
But the moment we hear that we have a power that's for us, like we read earlier, the Most High say, we're special people, chosen generation that's supposed to be above all nations. We tell that to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We look at and we looked at it as like, man, y'all racist, man.
Right.
How could you teach something like that? Ain't you teaching racism? Like, do you not understand the power that we should be serving and the things he can do for us? He's so powerful that the other nations recognize it.
Right.
The Most High, what one of his nicknames was, right? One of his nicknames was terrible.
Gone.
Because other nations knew that they could not touch us without the Most High taking action on them.
Right.
So when we keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, there's nothing that these nations can do. The only reason they have any sense of authority over us and control over us is because we're trimming our ways, man. And we're trying to follow somebody that's not that we're trying to follow somebody that we should have been ruling for centuries right now. Any more on that?
Count on my counsel.
Go ahead.
And all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Listen, we don't realize when we get punished, this, like, a lot of times people want to claim to be the children of the Most High because of the blessings, because of the good things that come with it. As Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have been punished out.
Right.
We have served out a punishment for ages. You see what I'm saying? That's the proof of who we are. Most High said, I'm going to punish you he's going to punish us for our transgressions, man. The so-called white man has never been punished for what he's done to us. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got a lot of nations that they have not been punished. But the crazy part is they believe that their punishment will never come. And that's where the fallacy lies. You know, you got some of the so-called in Esau and Edom, you got some of them who they can feel something coming. That's why they're so scared. You know, they call it karma, they call it whatever they want to call it. The Bible says you're going to reap what you have sown. You see what I'm saying? The things that they have done, they got to pay for. They want justice for things that happen to them, right? The Jewish man is still seeking justice to this day over the Holocaust.
Right.
You know, just a few years ago, with the bookkeeper from the Nazi war camp, he was just a bookkeeper, taking down names and stuff like that. He was like 90-some years old. He was in a wheelchair and he had an oxygen tank. They found him, went through the records, and they found him. His lawyer tried to argue that he was not fit to serve a prison sentence. You know, he had an oxygen tank. The judge said he's going to serve this prison sentence. He will die in jail. You see what I'm saying? Because of the atrocities that he's committed against our people. But when it comes to Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we don't know that sense of justice.
Right.
We don't know that sense of justice, but the Lord does. And this is what we got to understand, man. When we trim our ways and we try to be like them, it's damn near like we withhold what the Most High want to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, imagine you being a father and your child had rebelled and you had to put them out your house, and you see people abuse them. You see people misusing them, people treat them a certain way. And you know for a fact, like, listen, the day my son come back and tell me, hey Pops, I'm gonna follow your rules. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, Salakia, my bad. You know, I learned my lesson. The moment your son does that, anybody who touched him, anybody who mistreated him, you're gonna have to deal. You're gonna deal with that, and you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it with gladness of heart.
Right.
But if your son continuously to do and follow what these people are doing, how can you take action on it? How can the Most High take action and give us the justice, that we actually, you know, that should take place? How can he do that if we're still following these other nations and doing what they tell us to do? You see what I'm saying? We can't. Was there any more on that?
Nah, sir.
Let me get Exodus 34:7.
Exodus chapter 34, verse 7. Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and there will be no means clear.
27.
Oh, like my bad. Slides. Exodus chapter 34, verse 27. And the Lord said unto Moses, write thou these words, for after the tenor of these words I have made a covenant with thee and with Israel.
So here it is. What we're showing right now is the Most High, he's made a covenant with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He has not made a covenant with nobody else.
Right.
So you can't come saying that you serve the Most High and the Most High is with you if you're not Black, Hispanic. If you're not on this 12 tribe sign, however you think you serve the Lord, it means absolutely nothing.
Right.
It means absolutely nothing. The same way we think them pastors go up into to Donald Trump's office, and you got black people who try to, they bend over backwards and try to praise and do certain things for Donald Trump. You think that matters? You think Donald Trump gives 2 cents about, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans coming up, kissing up to him? You think he care about that? He absolutely doesn't. You see what I'm saying? You had black people and Hispanics going into his office, Christian pastors going into his office, and look how he treat black people. Look how he treat Hispanic people. Right. It means absolutely nothing. But we understand that. But when it comes to the Most High, we feel like the Most High got to just love and treat everybody a certain way. The Most High said, I've made a covenant with the house of Israel, man. Let me get Deuteronomy 4:6, brother Michelle.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom. Yes. For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation.
The Lord said, keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, man, this is our wisdom in the sight of these other nations.
Right.
Like, we don't know. We look foolish when we start following other people, man. You got brothers, they watch a Kung Fu movie. Next thing you know, they walking down the street with netted shirts on. You see what I'm saying? You listen to these crazy conscious brothers. The next thing you know, you walking down the street, your brother walking with a dashiki on. Right. You got our Muslim brothers, man. Like, you a brother, what you done your bed red and all that for? You wearing that dress like you so like? Come on, man. Like that's not what we're called to do, man. But when we do these things, we look foolish in the sight of these other nations, man. Right. But when we separate ourselves from their customs, from the things that they do, this is our wisdom in the sight of these other nations. We think that we gain respect from them by trying to join and assimilate ourselves into them. The respect that we get is when we say, you know what, we're not like you. Right. We have a culture and we have rules that we must follow. That has nothing to do with you. They can respect that. You feel me? Read that again.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore and do them. This is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this is a great nation, is a wise and understanding people.
Listen, that's what, when we keep our law, statutes, and commandments, and we come into the culture that the Most High has established for us, these other nations recognize it, man. Like they can hate the UPK, but they respect us. You understand? They respect the fact that we don't try to be one with them. Right. You see what I'm saying? They respect the fact that we're not trying to join their culture and be with it. Do the things that they do. Our women ain't trying to get their men. Our men, we ain't trying to get their women. You see what I'm saying? They can respect that. Right. When we keep these law, statutes, and commandments, man, these other nations look at it and say, damn, they wisen up. They wisen up. I mean, what can they say? Outside of, damn, they get smart. They got a power that they should have been serving. All of a sudden, they start doing it. These other nations, this is when they start getting scared. This is when they start really starting to fear. You see what I'm saying? They don't fear us being ignorant. Right. They don't fear us when we trying to be like them. They know. I always talk about it, man. Like, you got Moab, who's the Chinese man, and Ammon, the Japanese man. They all through the hood, man. Right. They all through the hood. We walk into them Chinese Yakami joints, and we call it mom and pops. They walk the roughest streets of Baltimore, right, without a care and concern. They got their hands behind their back, skipping as a sign of superiority. You feel me? And we give it to them. You think they respect that? You think that we can go into Chinatown? You think that we can go into Chinatown, set up a business for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and walk their streets as confident as they walk out, right, and nothing happened? Open up a sushi shop. Yeah. So like you think we can go into their communities and open up a sushi shop? Right. They will burn our store down overnight and no one will get arrested for it. Right. You think we can go into here in Baltimore? You think you can go into Little Italy and open up an Italian restaurant as a black man, Hispanic, or Native American? You might be unalived. Right. And no one's going to get arrested for that. You understand? But this is what happens when we trim our ways and we try to be like them. When we trim our ways and try to be like them, we allow them into our space. We allow them into our community. They do whatever they want to do, however they want to do it, and we just got to accept it, man.
Right.
Keep going.
Come on. Verse 7. For what nation is there so great, or hath God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for?
So like, and this is how they look at us. When we start serving the Most High, and we on the side of the Most High now, they look and say, man, they got a God that's close to them, man.
Right.
We got to be careful how we deal with them. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know that family in every hood, they got like 30 brothers and cousins. They were in like a 2-block radius. And they all got a name. Like they got a family name. It could be, they could be the Johnsons. Now you got to watch the Johnsons. It's like 30 of them. You fight one of them, you got to fight them all. You see what I'm saying? In every hood, you have that family. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you do something to one of them, you know that you got a war on your hands. You fight one of them, you know you're going to fight for the next month every single day. I mean, you might as well wear your tennis right at the school because you're going to have to fight. You see what I'm saying? This is what the other nations know about us when we come back serving the Lord. If they touch us, the Lord will take vengeance on our behalf, man. But the more we assimilate into their cultures and become second-class citizens under them, they know that the Lord ain't gonna fight for us, man. They know that. You gotta remember, we lost our history. We lost our records. They didn't. All right. These other nations know who we are, man. But to drop that, let me get Baruch 4:1. Say Baruch, sir. Come. You start when you get it. Any questions or comments in the chat? All right, so we do get comments coming in from YouTube there, so.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
But the Lord is saying, when we come back to keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, this is us coming into life, man.
Right.
You understand? When we leave these laws, statutes, and commandments, which is our condition right now as a nation, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, like as a whole, we're not keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. You see what I'm saying? This is considered death.
Right.
It's like, we're the walking dead out here because we don't know what power to serve. We don't know what rules, what laws, what statutes we should be following. So we go into these other cultures. That's the walking dead, man. The Lord said, all that should keep it shall come to life. That's how we begin to live, man. We begin to live by keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, this is what we should be doing, man. We shouldn't be out here just living any old way, trying to be like everybody else. You know how they used to say, somebody jump off a bridge, you gonna do it? Right. You would say no, but we done jumped off that bridge many, many times. Keep going.
Verse 2. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated.
Listen, walk in this truth, man. Walk and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, you feel me? These other nations, they gonna see it.
Right.
People see when you start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, people see the changing. They may not say nothing to you, but people watch it and they see it. That's why the scripture say that thou mayest be illuminated. It's like you're a light at the top of the hill that everybody, man, I don't eat pork now. They don't celebrate birthdays. You may get a hard time for it. You know, you celebrated your birthday coming up. Why your kids can't celebrate theirs?
Right.
And what you should tell them is the Lord don't want them celebrating his birthday.
Right.
The Lord don't want them keeping celebrating Christmas and Thanksgiving. The Lord don't give a damn about none of that. That's why I don't do it.
Right.
Keep going.
Oh my God. Verse 3. Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation.
It said, give not thine honor to another. You feel me? Let's not give our honor to these nations, man.
Right.
You understand? These heathen nations don't deserve that from us. They didn't got everything out of us.
Right.
What happens when we give our honor to each other? What does that look like? Us giving honor to each other, man. That looks like when that sister come up on you, and I mean, she got a man. You may not know the brother, but you know she got a man.
Right.
Don't touch her.
Right.
That's what that looks like. You see what I'm saying? Brother owe you money or something like that, you feel me? Instead of you unaliving him, you see what I'm saying? Like, you deal with him in a way in which you give him an opportunity to pay you back. Or you gotta deal with him in a manner in which you don't unalive him and give him another chance to get right.
Right.
Like, have mercy, forgive the debt. You see what I'm saying? That's what giving honor to another. That's the honor we give to other nations. When we forgive every atrocity that they've committed against us, but we won't forgive each other for the simplest of things. You see what I'm saying? Like, we hold on to family, it'd be a family grudge, and we'd be holding on to it for generations about absolutely nothing.
Right.
But then when it comes to the so-called white man, it's like we will find it in we will muster up the strength to forgive the atrocities of their nation. You feel me? Keep going. No, it's like it say, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. That's what we do, man. Like, we give profitable things to these strange nations, to these heathen nations.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, we give them our identity. We just talked about that. Like, that's the Jewish man. We gotta respect them.
Right.
You know how many black people right now? You know how many black people, older black people too, black people that's being cheated out of Social Security. They ain't even getting the full Social Security. They getting partial Social Security, about to get cut off. You know how many of them black people right now, them black elderly, you know how many of them are on recurring monthly payments giving money to Israel? Mm-hmm. Like, do we realize what's going on out here? Like, the reason our grandmothers and grandfathers are broke, you understand? It ain't just be like outside of them not giving them the what they've worked for. They're sending money to another people,
right?
Because they feel like they're the Lord's people, man. That's why it's like they get mad at us when we say, man, they the fake Jews,
right?
You understand? They are Jewish. We the real Jews. They get upset because it's like, you talking bad about the Lord's people. Why are we giving that to this strange heathen nation, man?
Good. It's like, so it's so powerful, right? I had somebody tell me that the Holocaust was the worst than slavery, worse than happened to our Native Indian brothers, right? Worse than what's going down in the border, right? And to the point where, like, if I bring up anything that happened to our other brothers and sisters and ourselves, like, they cried. Like, they cried, you know what I'm saying, to prove to the point that what the Jewish man went through was way worse than anything, you know what I'm saying? And it's sad, like, that our people know our history. Like, you know what happened to our people. Like, I remember growing up, like, I had never met a Native American, you know what I'm saying, pure blood Native American. Like, I didn't even know one until I got into the truth. Like, oh, snap, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know what happened to them, that our brothers and sisters. And to say, like, that what happened to the so-called Jewish man was way worse than that, and, like, believe it, knowing that we know the history is just crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's how much we quit to give away, you know what I'm saying, what happened to us. you know what I'm saying, just to serve another nation.
Yeah. And that's the spirit of trimming our ways, trimming our ways, you see what I'm saying, to fit in. You see what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, and what you said was heavy, because prior to me coming to the truth, you know, I used to say, I've never seen a Native American family walking down the street.
Come.
I'm dead serious. Like, I was actually trying to schedule a tour to a damn plant, to a reservation. Because I'm like, I have never seen a Native American family just casually walking down the street in the park, enjoying anything. You see what I'm saying? But of course, when you get into the truth, you realize, like, okay, damn, blacks and Native, we got a rich history. So there's a lot of brothers walking around that don't even know that they Native Americans. You see what I'm saying? But prior to that, like, I'm in my mind, like, you don't wipe the entire people out. You see what I'm saying? But this is the respect we give to these other nations when we trim our own ways.
Right.
When we're trying to seek certain things from them. Keep going.
Gone. Verse 4. O Israel, happy are we.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, happy are we. Go ahead.
For things that are pleasing to God are made known unto us.
So, like, do you know that feeling of first realizing? Like, go back to when you first realized that you were an Israelite.
Right.
And that the Most High was talking to you when you read that Bible. Like, do you know the overwhelming sense, like, that you had? Like, I remember, I tell everybody, the first time I read my Bible, the very first time I cracked it open, I was 18 years old. For the first 18 years, I'd never touched the Bible. The first time I touched it, and I didn't even know I was Israel at that time. I read that Bible for 12, 13 hours straight. When I tell you I didn't eat, I didn't sleep, I didn't move. I just read for about 12 to 13 straight hours. And then years later to find out, man, the Most High was actually talking about me. The scriptures say happy, like, you know, read that again, Mama Chef.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 4. O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to God are made known unto us.
Yeah, so now that you know you're Israel, now you start wanting to know, like, hey, what else? Like, okay, how do I serve the Most High now? What should I be doing? You know, where should I be? You start asking yourself these questions, man. You start trying to please your power.
Go ahead. It's like, and that's heavy because when you think about, like, think about the first time you was in the truth. So I found out I was Israelite, right? And then I found out the definition of sin. Because, you know, in the Christian church, they just be like, you know what I'm saying? Try not to sin, and is basically what your parents think is good and what your parents think is bad. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So when I found out, sin is the transgression of the law. So where's the law? What's the laws we supposed to be keeping? Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, like, you become happy when you learn the ways you trying to please the Most High.
Yeah. Keep going.
Verse 5. Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel.
I say, be of good cheer. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we're going through oppression right now. We're going through a lot of things. Man, thank the Most High that He's waking us up, though.
Right.
Because we could still be out there, the walking dead. You see what I'm saying? Not knowing who we are. Feeling like we got to go and put a dashiki on or go to some kind of African ritual because that's who we are. We could still be in that state of mind. You see what I'm saying? But to know who we are, man, and to know the power that we serve, let's not take that for granted. You see what I'm saying? Keep going.
Verse 5. Let me slide at verse 6. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved God to wrath. You were delivered unto the enemies.
Listen, this is an important part. This is what we got to realize. They say we were sold to the nations, not for our destruction, but because he moved God to wrath. You understand? We moved the Most High to wrath. How did we do that?
By not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments.
Yeah, not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. And even to further that, we started going into these other cultures, man.
Right.
We started doing what these other cultures were doing. These other races of people were doing. We started living their lifestyle.
Right.
You understand? And it pissed the Most High off. So this is why we had, this is why that moved the Most High to wrath, man. And they say you were delivered unto your enemies. So if we're delivered to our enemies, how do we feel like we're going to find equality, or how we feel like we're going to be restored by going deep into our enemy's culture and trying to become one like them? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's impossible. Keep going.
Come on, tongue. Ye have provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to God.
And that's what we do, man. We sacrifice and we worship these. We worship and sacrifice the devils, man. You understand? The deceivers of the earth. You understand? That's who our God became. You understand? Like, you look at everything that goes on into the hood. When it comes to the drug dealer, when it comes to the prostitution, when it comes to the drug using, when it comes to the underlying any crime that you see in our communities, we can attribute that to trying to be like this oppressor, man.
Right.
That is not our culture. You see what I'm saying? Back in the day, when you would hear that, when things were segregated, you would hear about the closeness of our people. You see what I'm saying? Where the whole community looked after a child. Where if you did something, you was gonna get a spanking, not only from the person up the street, but when you get home, you're gonna get another spanking.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We was able to build schools. We was able to build hospitals. We had a damn airport. We had planes that belonged to us when we were segregated, man. But as soon as we assimilate into their culture, we lose all of those things. You see what I'm saying? That's not what the Lord wants for us, man. That's not what the Lord is seeking for us, man. And we did that by stopping serving the Lord. We stopped keeping his law, statutes, and commandments, and we started celebrating Christmas.
Right.
So Christmas it's like, okay.
That's why Martin Luther King said, we say that again.
Come.
This is at the end, though. Like, they don't really push the salt there like that. We talking about the burning house.
Come.
Familiar with that?
Come.
That's what we at right now. We're in that burning house.
And for those that didn't hear Cap say this is what Martin Luther King had pushed towards the end, his ending. You see what I'm saying? He said he felt like, he kind of regretted everything that he had done up until that point. He said he felt like he's taking his people to a burning building. And that burning building is where we're at right now.
Right.
You understand? Like, that movement put us into the burning building. And it's burning. And a lot of us have lost our life, man. To the point where as though we try to be cool and assimilate to the cultures of the people that's burning the house. You see what I'm saying? Like, the person burning us and unaliving us, we say, you know what? We can't beat them. We can't beat them, so we might as well try to be like them. You see what I'm saying? Let me clean up a little bit. Let me stop talking the way I talk. Let me not be so ghetto and so let me not be those things. You feel me? I don't want to talk with no slang around them. You see what I'm saying? When they celebrate their holidays, let me take it above and beyond. Like, we celebrate their holidays better than them.
Your parents never talk white on the phone when you was growing up.
Come on, guns.
They didn't understand what that was.
Yeah. And we didn't even know what it was, but we understood it in the spirit. Somebody called. As soon as we had our parents switch up on the phone, we knew it was somebody. We knew it was an oppressor on the other end.
Right.
Because as soon as she hung up and she called whomever, she's back to herself. We understood that language. You see what I'm saying? But this is what happens when we start to trim our ways. We don't feel like we good enough, man. When the Lord said we are the greatest people on the face of this earth. It's like, was any more on that?
Verse 8.
No, drop that for right now. Let's go to Isaiah 40 and 15. So now we've shown that God has separated us from every other nation, right? He severed us from every nation. We brought out scriptures that show that God gave Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans his laws. Now let's find out how God feels about these other nations. Do God love these other nations? Is God going to give these other nations the chance to be great, and is He going to treat them like He treated the nation of Israel? Let's see what God thinks of these other nations, man.
Before you go there, no other nation trims their ways.
Come on.
You got a white man from Boston. He's not changing up his accent.
Come.
Even the president of the United States, he has a New York accent.
Come.
It might be slight, but you can still hear it. He's not trying to perfect his tone and change up his pitch or his cadence to please Ukraine or Saudi Arabia or the world.
Come, sir. It's like you couldn't hear Cap. What he was saying is, we trim our ways, change our voice up and stuff like that. These other nations do not do that for nobody. You see what I'm saying? The president of the United States, he don't do it when he talking to these other nations. A man from Boston ain't gonna change up his accent when he talking to anybody else. We're the only people that's expected. We are expected to trim our ways, man.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, even to the point where as though you see brothers with braids and you look at them as thugs.
Come.
Like, because you got braids, we thugs.
Come.
You see what I'm saying? They say we're not clean cut. Clean cut is no hair on your head, no hair on your face.
Right.
Can't even have a mustache, or you thugging. You see what I'm saying? Or you woofing. That's what they say, you woofing. You see what I'm saying? Not knowing that this is righteous. I ain't saying nothing against brothers that can't grow hair. You say if you can't grow hair, you can't grow hair. But you shouldn't have that mindset that I'm gonna cut my braids off, you feel me? Because I want to be accepted by these other people out here. You see what I'm saying? Good?
Of course, yeah.
It's like
everybody was mad when Michael Vick cut his head.
Come.
Like it took a part of the culture away from him.
Come on, God.
And it seemed like he was trying to conform to the society so he can be accepted as their citizens.
Come on, God, sir.
I mean, I was pissed. Like
I was pissed.
I mean, you don't even know the brother personally. Like, hey, they cut that.
Come on, God.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like what Cap was saying. For those of you couldn't hear, we was talking about Michael Vick.
Like our candidate, like certain generate, like I said in the millennium. He was like our Cam Newton or our Lamar Jackson growing up.
Come on, God.
They didn't ever see nothing like that.
Yeah, the way Lamar Jackson represents this, he represents our people right now. And the way Michael Vick was, I feel like Michael Vick was even more so. He was a representation of black culture. Man, he had the braids. Him and Cam Newton.
Cam he had swag.
Yeah, Cam had that energy to him where it was like, yo, he wanted like, when he did his thing, you see what I'm saying? You was like, man, like Cap say, you don't know him personally, but you feel like I know him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like
even like you had dad, you had like other cats that was in the league, but they didn't have they was a part of culture for sure, but they was like more out there with their uncle. They wasn't clean cut. Like Steve McNair, clean image. Who was the mother cast? It was a slew up, but like Vic didn't care. It was just straight. You know what I mean? To me, this is an example of being what's the word? I can't even get the word authentic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really why they didn't stop like Lamar Jackson, because the hair, the swag, the chain. But they can't really say nothing because his demeanor is like still clean cut at the same time.
Oh God. I don't know if people realize if you didn't grow up in that Michael Vick era, you don't understand, man. Like you was a fan of Michael Vick. You wanted to see him win, even if his football team wasn't your football team.
You had a Vick jersey.
Yeah, you had a Vick jersey. Yeah, I mean, like he had the braids, he had chains, he had all of that represented black culture. You felt like, man, that's my brother, that's my cousin. He represented something to you. You see what I'm saying? You played on the game. You played with Michael Vick. You see, you played Madden. You played with Michael Vick all the way. You see what I'm saying? But then to see Michael Vick cut his hair, you see Michael Vick cut his hair, and then he made that comment about Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
He said, I think he should cut that front. That's trimming our ways out. If that's not the poster child of trimming thy ways, you see what I'm saying? This brother that represented the culture the way he did, you looking at another brother saying he should cut his hair. They said like that. We the literal sense too. In the literal sense, this is what we do, man, when we try to be like these other nations. You feel me? And this is what makes us weak. It makes us weak, and what we don't realize, these other nations don't respect us behind that.
Right.
They look at us like suckers.
Right.
Michael Vick had that respect back then because he wasn't trying. I ain't trying to fit in with you.
Right.
I got my own motion. What I got going on, I got what I got going on. You see what I'm saying? And he carried the culture for so many years out. But that's a perfect example of somebody who trimmest our ways. Once he went to jail, he come back out, instead of him saying, you know what? I mean, the so-called white man, you talk about abusing animals.
Right.
I mean, you got animals that's extinct because of that. You see what I'm saying? Like, the brother fought some doves. You see what I'm saying? And understand that's illegal, but it's like,
You're not excusing it.
and we're not excusing it. But what does that have to do with your whole spirit?
Right.
Your whole spirit left you behind it. That's trimming our ways, man. You understand? Trying to be loved by these other nations, who the Lord don't give a damn about. And that's what we got to read. You got that?
Go
ahead.
Isaiah chapter 40, verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance.
It's like, read that again, bro. Sure.
It's like Isaiah 40 and 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
It say, behold, the nations are as a drop as a bucket. You feel me? So if you got a bucket of water and one drop of that bucket fall on the ground, do you care? You see what I'm saying? Do you give a damn about one drop from a bucket of water falling on the ground? You could care less. You like, damn, I'm glad more of it ain't fall out. One bucket, one drop means that you successfully moved this bucket of water from one location to another. If it's only one drop that come out of that, you good. The Lord said, he said, behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket. Go ahead.
And are counted as the small dust of the balance.
It said it's counted as the small dust of the balance. You understand? Like the small dust or them scales, you feel me? It means absolutely nothing. This is what the Lord feels about these other nations that we want to assimilate ourselves to.
Right.
That we want to love and we want to trim our ways for. We trimming our ways for people that the Lord don't get it, that the Lord don't care nothing about. You see what I'm saying? Like, how does that make us look? How does that make us look, man? When you got a people that the Lord don't care about, but we want to be like them. It makes absolutely no sense. Keep going.
Come. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing.
Give me 17, brother.
Come.
I'm too foxy.
Isaiah 40 and 17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity.
Listen, the Lord said these nations are counted as nothing, man, and vanity, meaning like it means absolutely nothing to the Most High, man. You understand? We looking at it saying like, we quick to say, man, I care about everybody. I ain't, I understand what we have been through, but everybody's different. You feel me? We can have that attitude all we want. The Lord say, I don't care nothing about it. He said the nations. That means everybody. We got a problem with trying to individualize things when it comes to other nations, but when it comes to us, we take things as a whole. You see what I'm saying? When Donald Trump made his comments about the Hispanics, he didn't individualize anything. He didn't say, we're gonna do it from a case by case basis. You see what I'm saying? He said all the Hispanics, all Black people.
Right.
But for some reason, when it comes to this oppressor, when it comes to these other nations, We want to do it by an individualized basis, you know, a case by case. You know, I got to see how they treat me first. You know, I got to see how they are first, you know, before we start to believe what the Most High told us. You see what I'm saying? The Most High say he cares absolutely nothing about these other nations, man. He says counted as vanity, meaning like it means absolutely nothing to him. That's how the Most High see these other nations. Let me get Second Esdras, chapter 6 and 56, brother Kashan.
Come. Like second Esdras, say it again.
6 and 56. And I know it's painful to some people to hear these things, you know. You know, and people may want to go and say, like, no, what's the first question you gonna Christian read here in this class and they hearing this. What's the first thing they're gonna say? What book he reading out of? Right. What version is that? Because we can't believe that the Most High God himself said this about other nations, man. But listen, that's what it is. You know, so either you want, like, that's why Christ say, you know, when they hate you, they don't hate you, they hated me first. You ain't got a problem with us, you got a problem with the Most High if you can't stand this, you feel me? Because these ain't our words. You understand? We just bringing it to you. The Most High don't give a damn about these other nations, right? He could care less about them. You got that?
I don't want to
go ahead.
Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 56. And it's for the other people.
And that's for the other people. This is everybody outside of the nation of Israel. If you're not Black, Hispanic, or Native American, West Indies, you see what I'm saying? If you're not them, if you're not us, you're the other people.
Right.
Read that again.
I don't want to come. Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 56. As for the other people, which also come from Adam.
That's what people always say. We all came from the same place. You see what I'm saying?
We all bleed red.
Yeah, we all bleed red. You see what I'm saying? We ain't no different from us and them. Why y'all was preaching and teaching this hate? That's hate what y'all teaching. You see what I'm saying? You got brothers who feel that way, despite the fact that we ain't committed no crimes against nobody.
Right.
We ain't unalive nobody because of the color of their skin. I mean, we get persecuted for what? Justice from the crimes that's happened to our people, man. When you got other people out here who unalive and do crimes against us because of the color of our skin, and yet people get an attitude with us for telling you what the Lord said. Keep going.
Thou hast said they are nothing.
They say, as for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, man. You ain't Black, Hispanic, or Native American. The Lord counts you as nothing.
Right.
Keep going.
But be like unto spittle.
They say, but be like unto spittle. You see what I'm saying? You know what spittle is? Yeah, it's spit, but it's like that little speck of spit that be in the corner of your mouth. You know, like, I don't know if y'all watch, what's the name? It is what it is. The camera, they had a dry mouth, man. It's that joint. You know what I mean? That's called spittle. They say, be like unto spittle. This is what the Lord is comparing these other nations to. I know it may hurt some people's feelings, but this is of the Lord. The Lord don't give a damn about these nations that we want to assimilate ourselves to, that we want to trim our ways for. You see what I'm saying? Keep on.
Come. And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
The Lord is doubling down. He said he don't give a damn about that drop, man.
Right.
He don't give a damn about that drop that come out of that bucket, man. You see what I'm saying? And this is the Lord is comparing these other nations to. So we got to understand, like, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are the one who set the standards. We are the ones who we should be the ones telling everybody else how they are going to be, instead of us falling weak and then trying to be like them. Drop that. Let me get Jeremiah 2 and 33, Brother Kashaw.
Come. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
Moses say, why trimmest thou ways to seek love. Ain't that what we do?
Right.
Because we want to be loved by these other nations. We want them to feel some kind of way for us. You know, and with that, we want to be looked at as the different one. You see what I'm saying? Like, brothers who trim their ways, they don't like it when they don't want to be compared to their brother.
They don't want to be associated.
Don't want to be associated. How many people seen that Key? I think, Cap, you showed me this was years ago. Key and Peele. It was a Key and Peele skit. And it was a skit, but it was so real. You see what I'm saying? You had the one brother, he was like the brother to all the Edomites.
Oh, yeah.
And then then it was another brother that came, and he felt like he was going to take his place. And he went to war with that brother. Because there's only going to be one black man amongst them. You see what I'm saying? Like, brothers who trim their ways, sisters who trim their ways, they hate black people. They hate black culture.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You better not come in there in any establishment with them with braids.
Right.
You better have a gold chain on. You better have no gold teeth. You better talk perfect English. You better say you and I instead of me and you. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got to be on point. You got to be clean cut. You see what I'm saying? Like,
It's like the new age house N-word.
So it's like
the new age house N-word.
Yeah,
They think they're a part of. They think they're part.
They think they're part of them for real.
Still absurd.
And the problem is, a lot of times those type of people, they find out in ways in which is unimaginable. You feel me?
Right.
The type of abuse that people like that go through. I remember General Hyman says it's two types of people that get abused. You got an ambitious woman and a weak man. Because that ambitious woman, she gonna do whatever she got to do, and she gonna take whatever she got to take to get wherever she's trying to go. She's gonna trim them ways. Then you got a weak man. Look at Dwayne Wade, man. Right. Look at Dwayne Wade. He was another one that was for the culture. Dwayne Wade was a brother that everybody rock with. You feel me? Flash. You feel me? Like, he was everybody's guy, man. But then, because after your career and you get with that his red box is they talk about the Loch Ness monster, something under the sea. You marry her out, and all of a sudden because you got to keep that money coming in.
Yeah.
You got to keep a job. You got to get on. You got to be on these shows and talking about basketball, despite the fact that you've made over $300 million in your basketball career. Now you got to trim your ways and let your son become your daughter.
Right.
It makes absolutely no sense. And then get mad at anybody who don't agree with you. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is what trimming our ways does, man. It makes us weak. We look crazy. Keep going, finish that, Bishop.
Come. Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked one thy ways. You feel me? They want to be the spokesperson for black people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, this is what we do. This is how we do it. You see what I'm saying? To try to...
They monetize it too.
They monetize it.
They monetize our wickedness.
They monetize our wickedness. That's perfect. The water cat. They monetize our wickedness. You see what I'm saying? While separating themselves from it.
All right.
I hate the phrase. There's a difference between a black man and an N-word. Chris Rock. I cannot fathom, I cannot stand when people say that. It puts me in cat mode every time I hear it. You see what I'm saying? As if to say a black man is so much more polished. Right. He's so much more well-spoken and so much more educated. You see what I'm saying? And he's not like the N-word in the hood. You see what I'm saying? And then they mock it. Yo, this. Then they mock it like they're better than, you feel me? But then when you start talking to them, man, they getting abused. Right. They getting abused. They going to they want to be the only brother in an all-white swimming pool. Kids getting pissed on. You see what I'm saying? They getting disrespected. But you know, we out here with them. It's a better living for us. You see what I'm saying? It's not a better living. You trim your ways to get abused instead of being with your own and being the greatest people on the face of the earth. This is what we do, man. I mean, the Lord don't want us doing that. The Lord then gave us a rich culture, a rich history. You see what I'm saying? The energy that we give to these other nations, we should save it for ourselves. What can we give the so-called white man? What can we do for him that's going to benefit him outside of being a slave?
All right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, he don't need our love. He's already ruling us. Your brother needs your love, though.
Right.
You understand? The compassion and the understanding that you give to this so-called white man, give that to your brother, man. Give that to your brother and watch how we as a people grow. The compassion you have for him, give it to your people. You see what I'm saying? Like, here it is, the Jewish man got us sending him. When I say us, I'm talking about us as a people. He got us sending $50 and $60. This is our elderly. $100, $200 on a recurring payment, meaning like you only got to think about it at this point. It's coming out.
Right.
We will do that gladly. But as soon as Commander General Honda say, hey, pay your tithes. That nigga just want money. That's what it's about. It's all about the money. You feel me? But here it is. You done gave the so-called Jewish man, you done gave him thousands of dollars. You feel me? And he's not going to do anything for you or your people. You see what I'm saying? You're going to stay oppressed. When your lights get cut out, you can't call him to get them cut on. Right. You can't say, hey, listen, I paid you $12,000 this year for my lights is off. Do you think that you can help me out with my lights? They're going to hang up on you. They're going to look at you like you're a fool. Why would you do that if you ain't got the money to pay your bills? These are the same people that when Commander General Hunter say pay your tithes, it's like, man, we ain't paying them. All right, I give them some fruit. All right. You see what I'm saying? But yet still, your lights get cut off, and guess who you call? Commander General Hunter. Like, it's crazy how it works, you feel me? We are not people that should be trimming our ways, man. We're not people that should be seeking love from this oppressor, man. You understand? Like, when we seek the love of these other nations, it teaches us to hate each other because we start to view each other through the lens of these other nations. You understand? When these other nations look down on us, when we start to try to love them, we start to look down on each other. These other nations puts all types of drugs and violence and vices into our community. You see what I'm saying? When we want to love them, we blame each other for all of those things. You see what I'm saying? How can you get mad at the person selling the drugs, but don't get mad at the person bringing it in? You see what I'm saying? How can you get mad at brothers that's trying to be gangsters in the hood? But yet and still, you'll watch every mafia movie and you big them up. All right. You know, they're celebrities. It's like we got to understand that by trimming our ways, man, we become weak. It's soft. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no other nation on the face of the earth trimming their ways. The Chinaman ain't trimming his ways to be in America. Right. The East Indian is not trimming his ways to be in America. The African is not trimming his ways to be in America. But blacks and Hispanic, we got to be everything to everybody except each other, man. If we black, Hispanic, and Native American, we got to realize we got a rich history, we got a rich culture, man. We serve the most high power. You see what I'm saying? We ain't got to serve these other nations. You understand? We ain't got to pray to their gods and do the things and keep their culture and their customs. We ain't got to do those things, man. But what we should be doing is drawing back closer to our power, because he's the only one that's going to save us from this oppression. Our ways are so righteous that when we start keeping our culture, we start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, these other nations are going to be confounded. They're going to look at us like, man, these are wise people. We read that in the scripture. Right. But if we keep trying to be like them, we keep trying to seek their peace and seek their love, we're going to continuously be destroyed out. So if you Black, Hispanic, and Native American, this is a call. This ain't as action at this point. We're telling you, you better get in the UPK, man. You better get to this UPK and learn how to serve the Most High. Learn how to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and do them. Because the alternative, you're going to suffer the same consequences. We're going to suffer the same punishment as these other nations. And that's something we don't want. You feel me? And with that, we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming straight out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are under Command and General Yohana. If it's not under Command and General Yohana, it is not the truth. We've been bringing this out since 1969, that Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Jews of the Bible, and our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And at this time, we're going to call up Officer Ghanan for reading the security announcements. Shalom, Baltimore.
These are the security announcements. We are the ISUBK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command and General Yohana. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means tenth in Hebrew is pronounced Mayashura. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the Treasury Department or a teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Up and coming Holy Convocation is the Feast of Hanukkah, which is December the 14th, Sunday, December the 14th. Remind Akim and Awathiam to check on social media such as ISUBK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUBK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he's to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarves. And with that, men of Israel, we're going to give one courteous salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Ma'adim Shabbat, Ma'adim Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat, Yahweh Batah. Class dismissed.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUBK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're 1 West. They're 1 West. They're 1 West. They're